Welcome to Planet Marzipan Podcast,
your fish and Marillion podcast,
where we talk about all things in the planet of Marillion and fish. I'm Mezza, and here's my mate,
Craig Houston.
Hello, welcome to Planet Marzipan. I'm Mezza. I'm here with my good friend,
Craig.
And we are back with part 2 of our Weltschmerz relook. We welcome back from last week's episode Paul Cavander, Stuart Chandler, Stuart Mitchell, and Tosh. I'm going to hand over to Craig and myself, and we'll pick up the discussion. But let's get back to the matter in hand. The mighty steps, Paul.
Heard those kittens. Well, we're really spoiled on this album. I mean, I've already said how much I like Rise of Damascus, and actually Waverley Steps is it's really high up on my all-time Fish Marillion list. It's right up near the top. Okay, never ever get bored of listening to it. Loved it as soon as it came out, and partly with Angels I listened to all the songs on it, but this was really the one that was so good. I mean, it's a brilliant story. It's got there's lots of changes musically in it. It's, again, happily it would carry on even longer.
So did you want this to be like a triple album? Is that what you were looking for?
I'm happy for that, and maybe have a remix version of Plague of Ghosts just on there as well.
Oh right, just chuck another long one on. Yeah.
No, I think it's incredible, and what a privilege to see it played live on the last tour.
Yeah,
as well. I mean, really, really great. 6.
Okay. Stuart C.
Well, I think this is contending to be my top song on the album, maybe, because it's just so much to it. It's hooky as hell, and it goes on and it goes on, but in a brilliant way. And with Paul, I just love it.
Yeah,
keep it rolling on. I'll keep on listening to it this week, and it's
just looking for the 30-minute version, aren't you?
yeah, absolutely. It's like Rose Damascus. It's sort of I can see a thematic sort of thing going on, musically. Not lyrically, but musically. They feel similar in places.
Okay, Tosh.
Well, let me first say that I do like it. But...
oh, I see. You're only set that up. Okay, there's a but.
It's a 15-minute song about suicide, basically, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Really, if
you're still listening by the end, it is.
Yeah. I find it a bit difficult to listen to
because of the subject matter.
Yeah. Personal experience.
Yeah.
Sort of like someone I know who went through it all and didn't come out quite as well as that.
No,
you like to
understandable. But again, that's testament to his lyrics and his
exactly
the images that he's creating in your head, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does all that. It's not. I don't dislike it.
No,
I mean
it's just close to home.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, Stuart M.
So I've got a really, really bad reason for not liking this, and it's because I'm on the Fish Facebook page, and I am so bored of people taking photographs of themselves at Waverley Fest, and I think that puts an irrational hatred of the songs going into it. I didn't like it when I first heard it, I have to say. And I didn't like it. I really didn't enjoy it on the Road to the Isles. It just, maybe it was where it was placed. It did nothing for me at all. And in fact, I found it I think that was when I moved from where I'd sat where I was near the beginning, middle of the gig in Glasgow to the back, because I was just like, no, this is not for me. That being said, I did like it much more in context of the album. When I heard it again, I thought it was actually, it was much, I guess maybe the live, I wasn't getting the narrative. I wasn't really hearing it, and the orchestration wasn't the same, so I wasn't getting the whole experience of it. So I think I did get it a bit more live. I thought, given that it was quite a serious subject, I thought there was no bite to it, really. I thought it did meander a little bit for me. What I've written down here is it's sort of a great song in many ways, but there's no real blind curve moment. There's no moment where it just transcends itself and becomes something
it just kind of, it's all on the same level, isn't it?
Which I sort of feel would have been an amazing ending to it. Maybe a triumphant ending, something that says, it's not like a made again type moment. It's something. It's got an outcome that, a nice outcome.
There's no hope at the end.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a very powerful lyric. But it is, I guess, like Tosh, I find it quite sad. And sometimes that's not what I want to listen to for pleasure. I'd have to be in the right frame of mind before I would get a lot out of it. Because if I wasn't, and that's maybe why I hadn't liked it up until that point. That and the photos. Obviously, the photos still to this day are one of the most annoying things on Facebook, are people posting photos of themselves by the Waverley Steps.
So if you're listening and you go to Waverley Steps, you know what to do, folks.
Yeah, take a photo, tag me in it.
Get those photos in. Tag Stuart in it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Can I just say, we did try to stop them. We did try to make people post them in a separate gallery, but they wouldn't have it. They just keep posting them. We can't do anything about it.
I love to see them. They're great.
Well, I'll tag you in more as well.
That's fine. Craig, what do you think of Waverley Steps?
Yeah, every time I go there, I say I am never, ever, ever going to take a photo like that.
I did it last time I was there. I'll do it again.
It bugs the tits off us. And to be fair, like I said, I think I mentioned it in the last podcast.
Nobody wants. Probably will say, yeah. Here we go.
But it's Waverley Escalator now, isn't it?
You will. Maybe retitle it, yeah.
Everything goes up the escalator. But no, again, I'm standing a lot shoulder to shoulder with Mr. Mitchell, my good friend, who has said a lot of what I think. I think it is a very important song. I think lyrically it is, because touching on male depression, male suicide, also homelessness, also mental health and how we treat ex-service people and stuff like that. It ticks so many boxes. I just wish it had a more interesting, musical, uplifting ending to it, because, like the guys mentioned before, on misplaced childhood and on things like that, you come out of like an album like with Fish or with some like banger, and we're leading up to the last song Weltschmerz, and these last two songs are very, very much down in context.
The happy ending though.
Where's the happy ending? But again, clutching at straws had a bit of a downy ending, but here we go.
And when I think of the three long songs, it's by far the most interesting.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I think it does have enough musical changes in it to keep my attention, which I definitely can't say of Little Man What Now, and probably elements of Rose of Damascus when you get sort of 10, 12 minutes in. I know what Stuart's saying about seeing it at the gigs. It was in a strange place in the set as well, wasn't it? It probably about the hour mark where we were all needing a bit of a lift in energy that we didn't quite get from that. But I think it's an incredible piece of music. And it does, unlike Craig's view on it, for me, it sets up the last track. It kind of leads up to it. So we'll come on to the title track, Paul, Weltschmerz.
Yeah, it wasn't there two versions. Is there a shortened version of this as well?
Whereabouts?
I don't know. I thought there was because I'm just looking at the lyrics, and there's a final section where it sort of repeats Weltschmerz, and sort of like various different statements on the homeless and starving, the bombed and the burnt, the poor and the lonely. I vaguely remember when I first was listening to it that didn't have that section. I don't know whether there was another version of it.
That's on the
Were you
20-minute album.
listening to that live version that I didn't listen to in 2018?
No, well, no, I don't know. But I when I hear that section, I always think, oh, okay, there's that bit as well. And I really like the ending of it. I think that's really important because it's the final song on the final album. So, choosing as you did on the title of the podcast, the rapture that's near. I think that was I don't really have a particular statement on that, but it's just an observation that choosing the final lyric and the final song would that there was obviously a lot of thought behind that. I mean it's not one of my favorites on the album, but it's a good song. It's I mean I like I do like it. I tell you what I really like. I like the image on it with Fish. I've got the t-shirt of the sort of black and white image, but I think that's a really brilliant image that goes with the song. But I think it's good, but it's not one of my favorites on the album.
Stuart C.
To me, it's his last great song. It's the perfect ending. Just sort of harks back lyrically to a lot of stuff. To Misplaced and things like that, I think, and Fugazi even, and it's so brooding and down your throat, and it ends, and it just ends.
Well, that's it. It does end. I think, as Paul said,
needle.
It's a definite end, isn't it? It doesn't fade. There's no fade out.
And it's probably one of the first things I heard off the album, and I thought, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Tosh?
Exactly the same as what Stuart's just said. It's a throwbacks. It's the broodiness of the album, the track. It's the perfect ending with mic drop.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Yeah. Stuart M?
Yeah, I mean, I've said throughout this that I remember not really liking this album when I heard it, but actually this song was the one that I did quite like. This was the one that had stuck out as something that I liked. And I love the line, "My words are my weapons." It feels like it's summing up the man in a way that that feels like perfect. This is Fish talking about himself, and I think it feels like in some ways Fish is someone who talks a lot about what happens to him. It talks about the people close to him. He doesn't talk about himself directly in quite such a strong sense, I think, quite often. And I think even down to him talking about how he doesn't feel like he's a part of the UK anymore. And I don't know if this is his plan. Leave with what I would think of as one of his most open songs. And it also feels like it's got a bit of rock to it. I was saying that this album is missing that, and I feel like this song brings that in. I can see why it was the final song, maybe, although I still quite like the idea of ending with something slower. And actually, part of me also thinks this would have been a cracking way to kick off the album as well. So you kick off with something really, really rocking, and then you end in something really soft. But given what we were just talking about as well, about that leaving on that sort of banger, that moment that you're thinking of, that does this. And this will be the last song that he probably ever records, I think, or we ever hear in that sense. And I think, it's not a bad way to go out, is it?
No, not at all. Greg?
I really do like this song. I've liked it since I first heard it. I think it's a strong song. But to me, this being Fisher's last ever song, it's very hard to take in that it is the last ever song on the last ever album, and it makes us sad. But yeah,
He's not going to cry, folks. Don't get your hopes up. He's not going to cry.
I'm not going to cry. But yeah, and the last Fish song ever. No.
Get over it, man. He'll be back. I think this is great. I think this ties nicely back to State of Mind, where the solo bit all started. It's a very similar sort of subject. I think the first verse is great. Please let me introduce myself. I'm simply a man of our time, confused and bewildered. I seem to live without reason nor rhyme. Betrayed by a system I've given up trying to change. Let me tell you now, for nothing, I'm back in the game. That's brilliant. It's what he does best. Absolutely. And you're right, Stuart. He very rarely talks about himself in these sort of ways. So as much as you're going to get from him, it's kind of him laying himself bare, isn't it, really? And it's a great way to end the record, and a good live song as well.
Yeah, I remember seeing that with you, John, at Albert Hall in Manchester.
Yeah, we did. Great gig.
Incredible. Yeah.
But yeah, so that is Weltschmerz, the final Fish studio album. Anything you want to? Yeah, for now, until he comes back. Tosh, no, Tosh knows something. He knows something.
No, he doesn't.
You heard it here first. Derek, remember where it came from? All right, you know Tosh. Any final thoughts on the album before we talk about formats and artwork? Paul?
There was something actually I was going to say earlier on. I wrote some notes down, and actually it was about Rose of Damascus, actually. Another light-hearted moment. I went to the whole of the Vigil's End tour, and my wife came with me for every show, and she got completely fed up with listening to the Rose of Damascus live. And she's you've met her, John, actually. She's Italian, and sometimes her first language is Italian, although she was born in the UK. She called it the Rose of Domestos. So we call it the Rose of Domestos sometimes, but
fair enough. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Stuart C?
I just think it's a really strong way to go out, really. Yeah. You know, I think it's a shame it took so long. You know, what was the gap between Feast and this? Was it 8 years or something? 6? No, not that long. 7.
7 years, 2013 to 2020, which is a big old gap.
If we got it sooner, though, it'd have been gone sooner, and that's the issue.
Well, yeah, but I mean, whatever. But it's sort of it's a great document.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
you know, and probably one of his most mature as well.
Yeah. Dosh.
Yeah, again, I agree with Stuart. It's a mature album. It's the last one for now.
He keeps saying it, folks. Like he's persevering with it.
You give him 6 months.
I did. Yeah. He must have written that book by now, hasn't he?
I haven't started the book yet. They're still putting his greenhouse up.
I know. The cafe's not open yet, is it?
No, but it's looking to be open in the summer.
Is it? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Which summer?
In summer, not yet. Yeah. Stuart M, any final thoughts on the album now?
Yeah, well, I mean, coming back to it, I really enjoyed it, given that I actually, when I was asked about it to do it, I think I said to Craig, I really don't like the album. I'm not sure this is a good idea. But actually, I have actually really enjoyed it. I think one thing that we haven't really mentioned, that I think, you know, Fish has done an amazing job with it, but I think it's also probably the finest musicianship potentially across any album. It feels really together. I think this and Feast of Consequences showed Fish at a sort of much higher quality of sort of soundscaping, I guess, than we'd had. He'd always had great musicians, but I love the sound.
Yeah. Production on these last couple of albums is fantastic.
I just think that he got to a point with Stevie Vanstis where he trusted him, and that shows the kind of the trust was there. So he allowed him more space to move, I think, and do.
And they were writing more for his voice.
Yeah,
definitely. I was just going to say that, Tosh. Yeah,
instead of writing a song and then thinking, "Fuck, how am I going to sing this?" They'd write with his voice in mind.
Yeah,
and that makes it so much easier for him to sing it.
Yeah.
If I could have had one thing to wish for from this album, though, it would have been, because I was saying there wasn't enough rocking moments. I And I think it would have been Frank Usher coming in and just doing one swooping guitar solo, and then that's where the album ends. That would have worked.
I mean, Frank should have been in Glasgow, shouldn't he? Really, but
I'd have loved it if he was.
Yeah, we all would. But
Or others.
well, yeah, I think you
Either
were
or.
more likely to get Frank because Rothers was in Nepal, Zealand by then. But yes, Craig, have you changed your mind on this then since we talked about it 2.5 years ago?
Not hugely.
Okay.
Not hugely. I do go back to it. I don't think I've ever managed to listen to it all at once. I tend to pick bits of it, or I'll tend to pick half of it. And it's an album that I probably only go back to every like 4, 5, or 6 months or something. It's not something that is regularly on my playlist. And I think also what's put a little bit of the kibosh on that is the absolutely stunning re-releases of Vigil and Internal Exile.
Yeah.
Which we will come round to, folks, honest, because
I've tried to get him to do it, folks. He's just avoiding it now. That's why we're doing this again, if I'm being honest. But we will get to it.
I promise we will do Vigil in the next few months.
Yeah. I think Weltschmerz is a top half Fish album. It's not a top 3 Fish album, but it's strong. It's probably one of the stronger ones in the latter part of his career for me. Should we talk about Mark Wilkinson's artwork a little bit?
Not just Mark, there's a whole host of artists.
Well,
when Julie did about 9 of the pieces in the book, Mike Ingpen's wife did one of them.
Who?
Mike Ingpen, the guy.
Oh yeah.
His wife did one of them because she's the family friends of Mark and Julie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Julie did about 9 of them. But I can't say I love Mark's work. I do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have got him on the net and kept up with it for 25 years, would I? So,
what do you think about the actual cover image?
The blue one or the orange one?
The blue one.
For the orange one, but
yeah.
Yeah, I think the image, the blue one with the no eyes. I mean, actually, I'm not sure I even observed that there was no eyes when it sort of when I first looked at it. I mean, I'm not really objective on Mark Wilkins. I just like all of his stuff, just because the style is just so interesting. So it's difficult to be objective on it. But I mean, I think it's absolutely. I mean, I've been flicking through it today. I mean, there's so much in it. Okay, and there's so many of the images which are, aligned to the stories, and as they always have been, and it's just, so much passion clearly went into the whole thing to get the artwork in line with the album, and there's so much of it, there's nothing in it that you can't admire and respect and love, really.
Yeah, I mean the Super Deluxe CD Blu-ray edition has a phenomenal book with it.
Yeah, that's
there's
the one.
Still 4 copies left on Amazon as we're recording this, so there's a few of the retailers actually managed to get it when Fish shut his.
I was going to say
down, so
Townsend have still got it as well. I looked this afternoon, so
get it if you can.
Yeah, I think it's 35 or 40 quid depending on who you get it from.
It's a steal.
Yeah, how can it be that cheap?
Yeah, they're spare.
Get a spare, yeah. No, it's phenomenal, and as Stuart and I have said, the surround mixes on the Blu-ray are really, really good.
Yeah.
Buy it before you can't, I would say, because you'll regret it. Especially
the documentaries on the Blu-ray are pretty good as well.
They are.
There's a nice, good long chat with Mark Wilkinson, which is really interesting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that.
Speaking of things, so go on, Paul.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched the Blu-ray.
You should.
I don't have a Blu-ray player. I need to go and
borrow one, Paul.
No, I've got one in my house that you've been to, John. But it's always people in there, so I'll get around to watching it.
Just tell them you need the room for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It brings me on to my favourite slot.
Are you going to get yourself all greased up, get the gimp mask on
Yes.
and everything? And yeah,
I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Stuart C's got his vinyl copy out, look. And some of the other guys have got them, but they weren't prepared. So there's only me and Stuart waving them at the minute. Mine's in a plastic sleeve, Stuart. I can't do that, but yeah.
Sorry, what are we talking about here? Just
Your
confusing.
record.
Oh, yeah,
Record.
sorry.
he's waving
Is
his
it
12-inch
gatefold?
around.
I
Just for
presume
the
it's a
record.
gatefold.
It is a gatefold, yeah. Stuart just showed you there.
I'll show you again.
It's a
Oh,
gate.
sorry, I was like looking at. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I need
gatefold
to put-
with.
There's no copies of that available.
No,
I
it's
think.
deleted, Paul. You'll have to get it off eBay, Fleabay.
Yeah.
Discogs.
Discogs, Fleabay. It's an okay pressing. I wouldn't say it's the quietest one I've ever heard. People were saying when it came out that it was really quiet, but I found that my Feast of Consequences was far quieter than this. But
Yeah,
it's
I
not-
agree. Yeah.
nice to have.
Do we know
Um,
that was this one? Was this a Seabass one, or was it or not? Or was this?
Yes, it
before
was.
that?
Yeah,
It was-
It's the
okay.
first
I
thing
think
that
it was. Oh, was it? Was it Seabass or was it? Might have been before actually.
Might have been before.
I think it would have been before.
Yeah, Seabass. The first Seabass ones were 13th star, weren't they? No one's nodding, folks. This is
Oh,
I found
remember.
another album called Weltschmerz.
sorry.
There's another artist who's recorded an album called Weltschmerz.
Is
Just
there?
did a search
Who's that? Who's that?
Fubar.
Uber.
Don't know when that's from. I just did a search and it popped up on, yeah,
That's Carband.
just on Amazon. I just did a search for Weltschmerz vinyl and clicked on it, and it came up with another artist with an album called Weltschmerz.
But that's sort of like a name for Fugazi as well, isn't it? Fubar.
Weltschmerz are a German new wave band, started in 1981 and culminating in 1982. And their only album is self-titled, and all the titles are in German, so I'm not reading any of that out. It's electronic rock
None of
pop,
this work.
new wave
Oh,
synth
that's
pop.
not working. Oh,
So
that's
there you
not
go.
right.
Want the Planet Music, John?
No. Believe me, it's not. So yeah, it's nice if you can get hold of a copy of the vinyl. Strongly recommend it, but it's finding one now, I think. And then there was a standard 2 CD as well. Yeah. Anything else, Craig, that we need to talk about Weltschmerz?
Well, the Blu-ray. I'll just quickly nip through
Yeah.
the bits and bobs on the Blu-ray. You've got the Tale of Weltschmerz, which is fishing conversation with Will Smith.
Kind of
Obviously,
in conversation
Well, he's in conversation, but it's a Zoom conversation.
during
because
lockdown, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was recorded during lockdown. Then you've got Behind the Mask, which you've got the interview with Mark and Julie Wilkinson. Both of these are worth the admission alone. You've got the videos for Man with a Stick, Weltschmerz, Garden of Remembrance, and The Party's Over, plus making of featurettes of the videos. On audio side, you've got the 5.1 mix in DTS, the 5.1 mix in PCM, and you've also got a little mini Weltschmerz live from UK Tour 2018. You've got Man with a Stick, Little Man What Now, The Sea Song, and Waverley Steps.
It's worth
And-
pointing out that they're quite different as well to the songs that are on the Clutching and Vigil live albums as well, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
But it was, it's a nice hardback book. The quality, they are. I mean, if you've got the Vigil or the Internal Exile deluxes, it's very much in that box style. It's a level up from the Warner's Marillion deluxes, but they are absolutely gorgeous, and the artwork in it absolutely fantastic.
And of course, there's Vigil's End as well, which is still available, I think, which is the live Blu-ray and CD from Leamington in November 2021, which features a lot of the album.
Yeah, but also there's the typical Fish sleeve notes in Weltschmerz, where he records basically from like 2000, 2017, 2018 onwards up until the release of the album, and goes behind, behind the scenes stuff and what happened with writing the album and what's happened in his life throughout that time, his hospital trips and stuff like that as well. But yeah, as an overall package, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Somebody that didn't manage to get onto the podcast, who wanted to be here, is Seamus Colgan, who's a regular on our podcast. You'll know Seamus from previous episodes. And he contacted us and we recorded a piece of what he thinks of Weltschmerz. So now it's over to Craig and I and Seamus.
Good evening, guys.
Are you okay? Are you well?
I'm 100%. It's
Good
very
man.
hot here in Germany.
Good man. It's good to see you. What's your relationship with Weltschmerz? Didn't buy it when it came out, did you?
Do you know, guys, the very first time I listened to the album was when after you recorded your first episode about it.
Oh my gosh. Right,
Yeah,
okay.
And the very, very, very first thing I did was I tried to buy the LP. Couldn't.
No.
So,
Seamus, you are a vinyl. Vinyl, your primary way of listening to music, isn't it?
Is indeed. After listening to your episode, went to Spotify and I started listening to it, and I very quickly turned it off.
Oh, okay.
Didn't. I don't know. There was something about it. I think there was something about the vocals, and it was obviously, it starts off with the grace of God, and there seems to be some kind of vocal treatment at the start of that song, and it just put me off. I quickly skipped through the tracks and didn't really find anything to grab hold of. So hearing that you guys were going to do a reboot of the episode, I decided to give it a go again. But before I did that, I asked all my mates. I'm in a nice but a small but very, very fine Marillion group here in Germany. We're all based all over in different cities in Germany. We meet at concerts and we meet at things like record store day, kind of stuff. So I asked my mates, and most of them are hardcore, long-time Marillion fans. So going back, one of them is a fan since Fugazi, one's a fan since Clutching at Straws, that kind of thing. The other guys are like me, kind of jumped in and jumped out for a long time. So one guy said, wait for it, 1 out of 10. Hates it. Detests it. The other guys all kind of had the same kind of idea of between 4 and 5 out of 10. So that was kind of, put a bit of downer in me. And I was kind of like, oh God, what am I getting myself into? One of my good mates, Gunther, he actually liked the album. He bought the special edition. He has the vinyl. And he thought, for example, that what was the song, Waverley Steps? He thought it was quite epic. But then he went to see him. Then he went to see him in concert, and he just thought it dragged. It was a bit too much, a bit too wordy, and that's why he doesn't rate the album that much. So I jumped into the album myself. Again, the first track, "The Grace of God." The first few minutes, it was like, what's going on here? I don't like how he's singing, but I was patient, and I went through the album, and there was a few things to grab onto from the first listen, and particularly Mammoth Stick. I love that song from the very, very first time now, and it's obvious the album means a lot to him. That he put a lot of effort into it. It is very wordy. It's a very, very wordy album. I think
the Fish album. What do you expect?
True. But I think this is more compared to other Fish albums. You probably got 3 albums worth of.
I don't know. No, I think each of the albums has got a wordy track. I think he probably turned it up a notch or 2 because it's his last one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there are songs that aren't overly wordy, but I mean, you've got some long tracks with a lot of words on it here.
Yes, definitely. So, as I said, I kept on giving the album time, and every time I listen to it, and it's an album where you really need to definitely invest time. You need to be patient. You need to listen. You need to concentrate. It's not something you can do in triple dinner or
No.
cycle along a river. You need to sit down and you need to concentrate, or headphones, or if you're lucky enough to have the LP and you're sitting down. You
Well,
can turn
I
it.
am sat here resisting the temptation to repeat what I say later in the episode. It's a great vinyl album. The 20-minute sides are ideal.
I can imagine that. I can imagine that. I'm not sure how it's split up, to be honest, but
It's in the order. It's in the order you've got on here, I think. I can't remember. Is it now?
Okay. So
Is that what I said?
Weltschmerz
Yeah, that's right.
and Waverley Street, Waverley Steps is probably the last side, I would say. Probably, yeah. Well, they're great. So as I said, I spent more time. I really took time and started to really get into the album. The Grace of God is a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Once you get past the first few seconds or whatever, for me it was just that initial some kind of vocal treatment he's got on that.
I don't think it is. I don't think his vocals are treated, if I'm honest. But you've got the MRI scanner noise going, and that maybe it's that's
okay.
jarring, but I don't know.
Yeah. So, Man with a Stick is one of my favorite Fish songs. I think it's brilliant. It's very, very untypical Fish. There's quite a lot of electronic sounds in it. You know who it reminded me of? It reminded me of a typical Peter Gabriel song.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Walking in Eggshells, again, a lovely song. This Party's Over. Didn't like it, but I watched the video and I really got into it. And I got the vibe of the song, and it's a very, very, very positive song. It's a pop song. Again, this is some untypical, non-mega huge epic prog songs on it, like Walking in Eggshells, Party's Over, and Man with a Stick. Rose of Damascus, it's probably the only song I'm still struggling with. It takes you on the journey, obviously. It's very, very wordy. It's very heavy. It's heavier than Gaza.
Yeah, it's dense. Ask me, it's very dense.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Garden of Remembrance is beautiful. Sea Song, the Trondheim Waltz, second favorite song.
Really? Okay.
Really, really, really love that song.
Yeah.
Little Man What Now, again, is nice. Waverley Steps, I think, I don't know if you spoke to Paul McMillan. That's his favorite song on the album. It's obviously the Scottish end of it. And I lived in Edinburgh for 4 years myself, so it really is it's a bittersweet song. It's very sad.
Yeah.
It's very, very sad. On the title track, Weltschmerz, it's huge. It's epic. It's great. So it's a pity maybe the album didn't get enough. It didn't seem to get enough publication at the time. There wasn't enough news about it when it came out. I don't know if I read any reviews at the time.
The problem was he self-published it. It wasn't available in any other retail outlets. You had to just buy it from Fisher's own store. So it's very, very difficult for general public buyers who are so used to going to the likes of Townsend Music or HMV or Amazon or all these other retail outlets. I mean, this is one of the reasons why Marillion perform considerably better, is they've got the nous and the savvy they take a certain big percentage of the pre-sales and things like that through Racket, but with the partnership with Adele, it means you've got worldwide distribution. So it gets into the
Yeah.
shops, it gets into the Amazons and your online places. So you cover all your bases, but he kept the whole pie for himself. So there, it just if somebody's buying a present for somebody, I'm going to get the new Fish album. It's not like you just quickly nip into the local store, nip onto a well-known retailer. You had to actually go and hunt for it.
Yeah, and I would guess, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would guess that he wouldn't have the same setup, or he didn't have the same setup back then as Ragged Records. I mean, Lucy and her team, they're very professional. They've been building up this, knowledge and expertise over the decades.
But
And,
thing is, the one thing was though, is if it had been through a chart eligible store for the copies that he actually sold on technically the first week, he would have been in the UK top 5, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the fans went out in hordes and
It was
pre-ordered.
pre-ordered. We were pre-ordered it. He'd trailed it for months. So before anybody, I'm too late, but people probably are shouting at whatever they're listening to this on. I'm sure I said this later in the episode, and I forgot it earlier. But the vinyl track list is in a slightly different order. So,
Okay.
Side 1 is Grace of God, Man with a Stick, Walking on Eggshells. Side 2 is This Party's Over, Rose of Damascus. Side 3 is Garden of Remembrance, The Sea Song, and Little Man What Now. And side 4 is Waverley Steps and Weltschmerz. So there's your sort of 20-minute sides almost.
Okay. That seemed to be the same song list as the deluxe edition, because the deluxe edition is split into 2 discs. Anyway, yeah. So I was surprised that actually it's still available.
Not many places.
So last week I went online and did a quick search, and I found one online retailer in Germany, Grooveland, and they had 8 copies, still sealed, brand new, mint, ready to sell, and they were going for something like, I think about 35-36 euros plus postage. So really, really, really cheap, really good bargain. I didn't find many other places other than Discogs. The vinyl copy on Discogs is going for like about 150 euros, mint, sealed. So that's from sellers in Germany. So I couldn't afford to go down that road, but I did grab the deluxe edition. It's got the 2 discs with the CDs on it and a Blu-ray. For you, John, there's the 5.1 mix.
There is a 5.1 mix. Yeah, Avril and Andy did it. Yeah, great.
And lots of videos, lots of making of and stuff. So it's perfect. It's exactly what we want. It's the reason why we buy the Marillion deluxe edition for all these extras. It's gorgeous. I mean, I can't say anything other than get it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's one of them. It's one of the best deluxe edition packages I've seen in years.
Yeah, it's really good. I probably just dropped myself in it, but you're absolutely right, Seamus. That is the CD order, but weirdly on fishmusic.scot, it's got the track listing in a different order on the CDs. I don't know why.
Okay.
So the vinyl and the CD are in the same order. So what I've just said is absolute rubbish, isn't it?
Okay.
But I'm going back to bed because this is just a car crash so far for me.
Yeah, and seriously, there's like illustrations on practically every page. There's lots of information about the making of the album. I didn't realize that John Mitchell was on this.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. Then the strings. Oh my God.
John Mitchell co-wrote Garden of Remembrance.
Okay, but who actually did all the string arrangements?
Egbert.
He did the second half. Yeah.
3 of them. Yeah.
He did the end half.
So So that's one thing about the whole sound of the album. I mean, if you give the album time, the arrangements are tremendous. There's an awful lot of sounds going on. I know I probably won't ever listen to the 5.1 edition, but
Just to
it's
credit
just
him,
not
the other person that did the strings is Ian Stevens, did the strings for the other tracks.
okay. And obviously, there's the wonderful surprise on the at the end of the box.
There
the
is,
deluxe
there
box.
is. Yeah, there's the final Jester image, which is amazing.
Yeah, I think that's not a secret anymore. I think anybody that's in the know, which I wasn't in the know, would have known already. Again, I'm still not a huge Fish fan. I do love his first two solo albums, but I would rate this up there with them.
Brilliant. Well, you sounds like your view's done a complete 180, which is great. And I know how much you're into your vinyl, so I'm going to put a plea out for Seamus. If anybody's got a copy of Weltschmerz on vinyl that they would part with for a reasonable amount of money, please get in touch with us at planetmusicpodcast@gmail.com and we will put you in touch with Seamus.
You're getting it wrong. It's Planet Marzipan podcast.
I tell you what, I really am going back to bed. This is awful.
That's very kind. We'll all be seeing each other at Pompeii, so there's an opportunity. We'll have a few jars, but I can only say that I know a lot of people didn't like this album, and I know some people love the album, and I honestly have a lot of issues with a lot of Fish's solo albums. Find them quite difficult at times. Usually there's a few highlights, but the album loses me along the way usually. This one is different. Didn't grab me, but it took time. I invested time. I really wanted to get into the album because I know it means a lot to you guys, and I know it means a lot to some really long-term fans, because it is his last album and it will definitely be his last album. I don't see him doing anything else in the future. I do regret not going to the last tour.
It was rather amazing.
Yeah, but I had to choose between going to see The God or Fish.
Okay.
And there was no choice. And it was a wonderful gig in Cologne. But it's over now. Some of my friends went. Some of them were very positive about the concerts. Said his voice was quite good. Yeah, but they were very, very, very worried about going because they'd been several times in the last couple of decades, and there generally seemed to be a downturn. But from what I remember from your guys' podcast, he did get some vocal training, or did he have surgery, or did his health improve?
He had surgery a few years before, yeah.
But he did have some vocal training before the tour. He did.
The last two tours, I think he was strong. He was the songs had been tuned down to his voice, and then the most recent stuff, this album was written for his voice. You know, it was pitched at just the right level for his voice. It wasn't straining or anything.
Yeah, but it's not just Fish. It's all the musicians. They've all really, really upped the ante on this album. It's tremendous. It sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, there's just so much going on. There is a lot of detail. There's some very, 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 very heavy topics, but there's also some very light and friendly and poppy and easy listening songs on the album.
Cool.
I would definitely recommend it. People go to Man with a Stick first, give it a listen, and then go another direction.
Okay, so that's what Seamus would have said if he joined the podcast, which you're about to listen to. Craig, what's our email address?
planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com.
Please, if you've got a copy of Weltschmerz on vinyl that you would be willing to part with for a reasonable amount of money for Seamus, get in touch with us.
I'll be grand. I'll be really, 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 really happy.
Thanks for coming back on, Seamus. Well, we asked you listeners what you thought of Weltschmerz, so I'm going to hand over to Craig and myself, who are going to give you the highlights from the Facebook discussion.
And there's quite a few bits in there, so let's get stuck in.
Yeah, I asked you. Yeah, it was me this time, wasn't it? On the 8th of May, I asked you what you think of the Weltschmerz album in our Planet Marzipan Facebook group. And thanks again. We had lots of comments again. I'm going to give you some of the highlights. Greg, you can start us off.
I'll start with Leo Trimming. This is one of Fisher's finest albums, in my view. Incredible achievement at the end of his career. I believe Steve Vancis has been one of Fisher's best music collaborators. Fisher's lyrics are outstanding, with great storytelling in Rose of Damascus, The Grace of God, and Waverley Steps. The title song is a great, impactful rock song, and Garden of Remembrance is a touchingly poignant highlight of his career.
Jason Cobley says it was a perfect way to go out. Many songs mirroring the first album, but also some of the best songs he's ever done. Waverley Steps and the title track are absolute classics. There isn't a single song on the album that under-delivers.
Nicholas Felmingham. It is a good album, but the long songs are too long, in my humble opinion, and meander. Overall, it is not as good as Vigil, 13th Star, Fellini Days, Rain Gods, or Feast of Consequences.
Chris Campbell says it's a very strong album with some truly superb moments. I was pleasantly surprised by just how strong it was. Grace of God is in his top 10 solo tracks for me. Sunsets on Empire and Rain Gods with Ziplods are better albums, but he still went out in fine style with this one. The title track is another real high point. Ditto Waverley Steps. It's a strange album for me, as I got into it when lockdown was at its most draconian in terms of restrictions. I had to go into work most days, so I was often listening to it driving in or walking through a virtually deserted Belfast city centre. The majority of those on the streets were smack addicts, trying desperately to score, and the odd essential worker, like me, trying to get a Tesco meal deal. I'm not being flippant, that's what it was actually like. And as such, it always evokes a nagging sense of apocalyptic dread. It's his fear, if I may, without bringing the roof down on me. Wow.
Paul Gulliver. I still love it. It's a really dense listen, so I tend to play the vinyl to break it into lighter chunks, just like you, John.
Yeah.
However, lyrically and musically, I think it's one of Fisher's best and a really fitting finale to his career. Highlights for me are the title track, Waverley Steps, Grace of God, and Garden of Remembrance, but there's not a track I skip, even if I occasionally feel Little Man plods. The production is superb and the packaging wonderful. I don't have the deluxe as I don't have a Blu-ray player, but the vinyl gatefold and record sleeves are beautiful. I bought a couple more copies before Fish Music site closed and gifted them to my friends, each of whom really rates this album. Cheers, man.
Very generous, yeah. Mark Allett says, top album, definitely one of his top 3 in my opinion. Probably, possibly, even his best. I think one of the reasons that this album is so special to most is what we all felt part of it. With it being recorded through lockdown, and we're privileged to hear progress week by week and see how the tracks emerged and evolved on Fish on Friday every week. Not many fans ever got such access to any album from any artist.
Ooh. And here's one from the legend that is Sue Beasy. Hi, Sue, you're right. I really dislike it and was very disappointed at the time, as I absolutely loved Feast of Consequences, and I tried really hard with lots of listens.
Rick Gay says, the perfect album to end the big man's career, almost full circle. I can hear every album he has done in Weltschmerz with a new twist. Not my favourite solo album of his, but still a great way to sign off. At times, it's like his musical autobiography. He's very much missed.
There's a few quick ones here. Colin Wright, absolutely brilliant album, in my top 5 albums by him. And Kev Gladdock, a fantastic adventure. Paul Cavander, the best Fish solo. And Alex Moody, just listened a couple of days ago. Great album.
Is that Paul Cavander who's on this episode?
Yes.
Well done, mate. You've read the same thing out. Yeah, well done. Do you know, folks, we're having a night of it here. We're having a night of it. I think that's probably a good place to draw a line under this, but there are lots more comments on there. Yeah. Please have a look on our Facebook group. It's Planet Marzipan a Marillion and Fish podcast Facebook group. There's lots of other chat goes on there as well. So it's not just about the episodes, but it's talk about the music and the gigs and that sort of thing. So please come and join the party. Anyway, that's what you think. And it's over to me and him to wrap this up.
Go on.
And that's what you think of it. And you've heard what we think of it. So Paul introduced his scoring system, and we haven't done this for a long time, but we're gonna score the entire album as genius or bollocks. And I'm gonna start with Paul. Paul, is Weltschmerz genius or bollocks?
Oh, it's pure genius.
Thank you, mate. Stuart Chandler, is it genius or bollocks?
It's genius.
Thank you. Tosh, is it genius or bollocks?
Absolute genius.
Thank you very much. Stuart M, genius or bollocks?
Well, it's not bollocks.
No. Don't get all American on us now. You've got to answer the question.
Well, no, I don't think I can say genius, but I'm not going to say bollocks.
You have to. You've got to pick one of the two. Which is it?
I'm refusing to answer.
Ah.
That's like another Farage.
All
Yep.
American. Yes. Yeah. Craig, genius or bollocks?
I'm just sitting stunned because we haven't done genius or bollocks in as long as I can remember.
We haven't? No. Well, I brought it back.
It's as dusty as fuck. Oh, genius! It's good.
Of course, it's genius. Stuart knows it's genius. Really, he's just being a curmudgeon.
I suppose we should bring genius or bollocks back.
We
because
should
it's
bring
been
it
gone-
back.
It's been gone far too. It's because we keep having to pay royalties to Dobby for using it. That's why.
Well, we've got Lucy coming up on an episode soon. She likes genius or bollocks.
She does.
Anyway, you've listened to us waffle on about Weltschmerz quite long enough, probably longer than the album again. But I just want to thank our panel for joining us. Thank you, Paul Cavander.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you,
Been a
Stuart
pleasure.
Chandler. Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tosh.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, mates. Thank you, Stuart M.
Thank you, and thank you for making me listen to it again
That's
to
all right.
reevaluate it.
We won't give you any more difficult questions. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to my podcast other half, Craig.
Why, thank you.
All that remains to be said is it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Take care.
Go on, Mr. Chandler. You can do it for us.
Stay alive.
Hey!
Thanks for listening to Planet Marzipan Podcast. Please like and subscribe from whichever platform you get your podcasts from. You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com and check out marillion.com, fishmusic.scot for all the good stuff.